Greetings, Shalom, Salam Alaikum. Hello in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari, Christ in kingly character, Christ's second coming, Haile Selassie. Praises be His name. I just want to make this little video showing the brethren and sistren out there some of meditation materials, things that I reason on, the books that I read that have helped me to grow spiritually. I continually grow, when I read these books. The first one being, of course, the Holy Bible here. Now, when you're reading the Bible, you have to keep in mind this is really a collection of texts stolen from ancient Amharic and Hebrew writings, scrolls, and changed by the European, by the white man to control people all through the Middle Ages in Europe, and to control indigenous populations everywhere still to this day. But the root of what's in here is true, and there's no way you can do without it. His Imperial Majesty himself said, we in Ethiopia have one of the oldest versions of the Bible. For my part, I glory in it. I glory in the Bible. His Majesty was constantly giving praise to Jah and talking about the Bible and spreading the word and saying how the Bible is good. But obviously, he put in his speeches and in his sayings, he put subliminal things in there, reasoning. Wait, Ethiopia has the oldest version. This European version is not the true way. But like I say, the root of what's in this book is true. All the stories of Solomon. Of course, they leave things out, like the Book of Enoch. It's not the whole story. Like Bob said, half the story has never been told. But you have to reason on this, and grow through Jah. This is my own personal, my grandmother's copy, from so old that in Psalm 68, it still says, "Sing unto God, sing praises to His name, extol Him that rideth upon the heavens by His name, Jah, and rejoice before Him." I don't know if you can see that, but right there, Jah. Okay. Another book I meditate on is the Kebra Nagast. Okay, this is the part of the Ethiopian version of the Bible. This is the story of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, how they had Menelik, and that's, of course, YESHUA, commonly known as Jesus Christos, was a descendant of Menelik, and so is Haile Selassie, Christ's second coming. So, this is a very important text to read. The Rastafari Bible. This is by a brethren collected this called. His name is Jason Atiba Alimuai. He's a brethren from Trinidad, and this is a collection of Ethiopian history, lineage, and then it has many of His Imperial Majesty's quotes. So this is a great book to have. Another thing I meditate on is the Wise Mind of Haile Selassie. This is compiled by a roster brethren, and it has a foreword by His Imperial Majesty's son, Prince Ermias Haile Selassie. So this is good. My Life and Ethiopia's Progress. This is the autobiography written by His Imperial Majesty. This is, of course, the translated version into English, so you never know what the guy put when he translated it, but for the most part, this is the true words of the king. So you have to read this. Visions of Rastafari. by a brethren in the Caribbean somewhere. His name is Lance Suinarn. He's a doctor. So, he's written many books, not just this one, many good books on His Majesty. I've seen online and, on the Babylon line. Anyway, that's a good book. Now this is some important books when it comes to African history, black history. You can't talk about Rastafari without acknowledging that we're all black at one point. Everyone comes from Africa. Africa is the motherland, the homeland, and the place we need to get back to, and that's the Zion on earth, is Africa. Anyway, Christopher Columbus and the African Holocaust by a brethren named John Henrik Clarke. Really brilliant brethren. So this book basically talks about how Christopher Columbus didn't discover anything. Him was a really evil, wicked man. And talking about how Prince Henry the Navigator, all that BS, how they stole everything. Europe was in shambles in the Dark Ages. They stole everything from Africa, which was the cultural mecca of the whole world. Mali and Ghana, some of the biggest trading centers in the entire world at that point. So, and they had universities, libraries, enormous populations, happy people, not like Europe at the time. So this talks a lot about how the New World was stolen from indigenous Americans and, Arawak people down in the Caribbean when